viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto channel. As you could already tell by the video, I'm working on Mrs. O's van. The airbag light came on a month or 4 or 5 or 6 ago, and she's been harping me to check it out, assuming that I can fix it. So I looked at it about a couple weeks or slash a month or so ago. Had some time, read the codes. Has a problem with the left side impact number 2 sensor, if I remember correctly, which is located in the left door sill by the sliding door. Assuming it was probably just a bad sensor because it is in a high traffic area. There's lots of dirt, garbage, and junk there. I just yanked the one off the right side, exactly same part number, plugged it in the left side, but the code remained. So that stinks. At that point, I was able to fish my way into the SRS module, unplug the offending connector there, and unplug the impact sensor here on the left side. Did a resistance check, which technically the wires should be open circuited at that point. And if I remember correctly, they weren't. I don't remember which value they were at, but it appeared to me, just based off memory, that there was a short somewhere. You know, whether it's a cruddy connector somewhere else in the vehicle, or an actual wires shorted to each other somewheres under the carpet, which I'm hoping it's neither, but the data doesn't lie, and that's where I'm at. So I've got to kind of refresh myself. We got some time to look at it today. Went out to get in it. She had left the headlights on. The battery's completely spanked, so I've got the charger over there on nuclear, and let's get started. So I yanked some codes out of it, and that is the code it's throwing, the 45-11. What do they give for a definition? No signal from the left side impact sensor. Second, I believe there's 3 side impact sensors on this car. Not a lot of data stream to look at on this, so it's kind of old, you know, manual testing. Let's pull up a diagram, look at the circuit, figure out a plan of attack. So grab us a wiring diagram of the airbag unit, the SRS module, and the offending sensor is left side impact sensor number 2. So that's going to be this little fella right here. And then we also see it has another connector. So we have the connector here at the airbag module, comes down, goes to another connector, the C801, and then goes, you know, to this connector at the actual airbag module, which they don't have labeled as a connector. So I was curious. Now I haven't showed you this process, but I'll have to double check this before I get started, make sure it's the same. Last time she was in, and I looked at it briefly, I checked resistance, unplugged. So we unplugged this sensor here, so you just essentially have 2 open wires, and unplugged it up here. So when we check continuity from here to here, it should be infinite, it should be open, and it wasn't. Making sure my testing methods were correct, I went ahead and unplugged the right hand side and checked resistance from here to here, and indeed it was open. But when I checked, you know, the left side, I don't remember what value it was at. I want to say like 10 ohms or something. It was relatively low. So I left that unplugged, came back here, checked resistance, you know, across these two, and it was, you know, the same reading or very, very similar. So my thought is, at this point, knowing what we know, knowing it's throwing a code for this, it's not receiving a signal, the wires appear to be shorted somewheres, the best thing we can do is cut the system in half, the easiest way we can cut it in half. And I'm thinking the C801 connector, which we did a little looking to see where it is. Learn how to run this thing. Alright, I'm giving up with that. Whoa, what we got going on? How come my mouse here's not working now? Bear with me, folks. Whoa, there we go. She does run a little sluggish on me. So this is C801, which looks like it is in the left quarter trim. I believe that's even what it tells me, not what it looks like. Yeah, left rear side behind trim panel. So it's C801. I think that's like a seat bracket or something there. That is, if this is the left side, this has to be the back side of the wheel arch. I'm curious because, you know, I do have 3 kids. They completely, you know, act like animals sometime inside here. So I'm trying to think of where the most likely spot that we could have wire damage, or, you know, poor connector. I don't know if this is near a cup holder, if, you know, we got 5 or 6 shoulders spilt down there. And the other thing is, I don't know which direction this under carpet harness runs, because I would like to, if I could sneak up a little bit of carpet, find an area that would be helpful. The other thing is too, losing my train of thought here. What was I just going to tell you? I don't remember. We'll come back to it. But anyhow, I say we get started. I think this is going to be the easiest spot to get to separate this harness. I've gone ahead and pulled the rear left quarter trim panel off on the inside. I didn't show you that because, frankly, that's the boring part of the video. The half hour of yanking plastic and seat belts and stuff. Now I've unhooked the battery on the vehicle, and I've also disconnected. Let me get my little pen here so I don't get my screen all streaked. I've gone ahead and disconnected this connector here. Hopefully you guys can see it. This is one we talked about that houses the left side impact sensor and also the right side impact sensor. I don't remember what connector C, I guess it is, the ABS or the airbag module. That is disconnected currently. So theoretically, if we look, and this wire diagram is correct, we should have, if we unplug this, this is our impact sensor number 2, left side. If that is unplugged, it should be completely open circuited. This is unplugged, airbag module's unplugged. So I'm going to come down. I don't remember what the resistance reading on it was, but I remember last time I checked it a while back, this is where I ran into a problem, or at least I thought I identified the problem. So very gingerly, I'm going to front probe these with some hypodermic needle size. Just very lightly touch those pins together. Don't want to shove it in. See where it's at. About 13 ohms. So that's pretty low resistance. That tells me that these wires are touching somewheres. I guess for the sake of argument, I can go show you on the passenger side what it should be. My little cricket friend's back. He'll be in the videos. Little mascot, the cricket. So here's the passenger side. Now, like I said, I've already swapped sensors side to side. This was back before I did any testing, because literally you can do that in about 30 seconds. Pull the threshold off, swap them around, light came back on. I said, oh well. Actually I said, oh sugar. So we touch these ones and you can see it's infinite, it's open, there's no continuity, which is what it should be. Now if we plug the airbag module back in, there would be some kind of connection there just from the internal, circuitry of the airbag module. But so there's that. That's where we're at. Now the reading that we obtained here is the same resistance reading we would have if we had went. Did I lose my little Microsoft pen already? If we had went back to this connector C, which I've already been to, checked the resistance there, seen it's the same or very close to as it is here. Obviously there's going to be a little bit extra because of wire length or what have you. I think we're all on the same page now as far as what's going on. Let me turn that off. And then our goal was to get to connector C801, which is why we tore the inside of the van apart, which is this little guy here, which enhance. So I found this connector. Now, if we unplug it, it should tell us if our problem is from here back to the connector, or from that connector back to the front of the van. So here is the connector. I haven't unplugged it yet because I didn't want to lose the big reveal. It is unplugged. I don't see any garbage. I should say very little garbage. I don't know which wires are which. There's a little bit of stuff in there. Some sort of goo. Interesting. Let's go back and rerun our test. So now if we still have a short here, which would be really, really nice, we know that it is in this short section of wiring. If the short is gone, then we know. Then we'll pin out that connector, see who's who, double check it from there, and well, that means it's under the carpet somewheres, which is really gonna suck. I was hoping it was somewheres that could be easily damaged, something spilled on it, anything. Ah, crud. So it's open circuited. Now I'm going to go plug that connector back in. Can I reach it from here? No, I can't. I'm going to plug it back in. You guys watch the meter. I just plugged it back in. Ooh, 52 ohms. We've changed it. Can that crud that's in there be causing us a problem? It's one thing I'm observing. I don't know if you guys can see it, but down, well, let me move you. Hold on. Can you see this? On the seat, I do see some kind of stain from one of my children. Also, I noticed when I was pulling the quarter trim off, there's a little tiny opening right here in the quarter trim that you could see the top of this connector, because I was really trying to fish it out of there. I was hoping I could, but and I see a little bit of splash here on the side of it. Can whatever is in there, can it be conductive? So I just heard our meter go back to open circuit. I'm curious before we get too awful far. You know, like let's say one of the kids spilled a little bit of soda, because I see a couple little droplets on the side of the connector, some brown stuff. Oh, slide that up off there. I don't know, airbag circuits are pretty sensitive. Let me zoom in on that so you guys can see it. Enhance, enhance. Whoa! Is that focused? So over here on the right hand side, a little bit of something. I have no idea, but it is kind of peculiar. Never mind, I see a smidge of green. Let me unenhance you. Unenhance. Unenhance. What? This is your children's fault, Mrs.O.
Probably. Something got spilled on it.
Yep. See the stain on your carpet?
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you remember the little opening that was here that we could see the connector in? It doesn't look that bad, but unplugging it and plugging it back in, we changed the resistance value of it about 40 ohms.
Does that mean my light's off?
No, it has to be open circuited.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
so.
just be like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. This third pin over, I see a smidge of fuzz on the bottom of it. And you know what?
I'm going to blame the fuzz on your dogs.
It's not that kind of fuzz, green fuzz, woman.
Oh.
Those are on green wires, okay. Well, let's just get some contact cleaner and give it a good old-fashioned douche job. Got some CRC QD contact cleaner. I don't know if it's gonna work. Not that connector, fella. This one. I'll stick the old diaper down there. I don't know if this says cleans out child residual soda. Yep, right there. Cleans out sticky crap from your kids. It's not cleaning out the soda.
What's it doing?
Oh, making my hand really cold. I think it's just alcohol.
Let me smell it. Woo!
Isn't that good?
That's a little strong.
Oh, I know. Crap, I need an acid brush. Upstairs.
I gotta go all the way upstairs.
Oh my gosh, woman. I'll do it. I'll do it for you. No, sit in your chariot, woman.
There you go.
Got it.
You think this might fix it?
You know, I'm trying to be hopeful. Part of me wants it to fix it, the other part of me doesn't.
Why doesn't it?
Because then I gotta fix your damn door.
What?
Your driver's door.
Oh, yeah.
There's always something with you. You know what I don't like about you?
No.
You always assume that I can fix it.
You never have.
You never have failure as an option. Like, I'm sorry, honey, I can't take care of that.
Failure never should be an option. And I've never seen you not fix something.
You assume.
I have confidence.
Oh, this stuff.
I have confidence in you. That should empower you.
That should empower me?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, pride can be a very dangerous thing, Vanessa.
I didn't say that you need to be prideful. I said it should empower you. That's not what I said. You should feel empowered by your supportive wife who believes in you, who believes that you can do it.
Will you say, you can do it?
That's what was in my mind, but you said it, so.
Oh, come on. I know you were going to say it. I'm just hoping this fixes it. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Okay, the goo. Spray the corresponding.
Yeah, if it was like spilled on top of that, why are you cleaning the bottom thing?
Because there's this thing that it keeps, how do I want to say, it keeps us on Earth. It's not just.
But why wouldn't it, if it passed through the thing on the top, why wouldn't you want to clean that as well?
It's the law. It's called gravity.
Okay. Well, if it started up high,
it all dribbled down while it was still fresh and then solidified into its brown goo as we see it.
You don't think it had any impact on the upper?
You know what? This is why I don't let customers freaking watch. You know why? Because they ask 1,000 questions.
It's good for you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I like to work in my little cave alone, away from people.
You're talking to thousands of people right now.
But they're not real. I don't see them.
They're real people. Your people are real, aren't you? Is that part of the protocol?
It's called I'm too lazy to go up and get a blow nozzle.
You want me to get you a blow nozzle?
No.
That's what you said.
Okay. I don't think this stuff's conductive anyways. Is this dielectric? No. Too much to read for me. Oh, please, baby, please, baby.
Wait, it's got little warnings. Maybe you should just read them.
Please, please. Watch out. I'm trying to say please, please, please a bunch of times. That helps us as mechanics. Ready? Shh, shh. Oh, I don't hear my meter clicking. Let's have a look. Maybe it turned off. Please be on. Please be on. 3.65 mega ohms. Oh, it's better, but it's not 100% perfect. 3.6 million ohms. I think it would be happy with it. I'm thinking, let's turn this around where we can see it so we don't have to keep doing the dance. Okay. Oh, look at that. Hallelujah. Must be the stuff is semiconductor. Did my pins just fall out? Yeah, they did. I could have tricked you guys and been like, yeah, we got it. It's all good. I got it. Dang it all to heck. My pins fell out again. Okay. I know there's a glare, folks. I'll give a call out of the numbers. Okay. You know what, Mrs. O?
What?
You're onto something with your whole spoochie stuff, sticking stuff on the top. You want to know why? Mm-hmm. Because if it was conductive across the bottom, it would already be conductive still, and it's not. Can you see that? I'm such a moron. All right, go get the blow nozzle. Oh, can you get out? Ah, that's my hiney. You know what? Is there a... Just trying to examine these wires closely. Yeah, there is some goopy crap. So I'm going to try to get in there a little bit more with an acid brush instead of de-pinning this. We're going to see if we can just flush it out and blow it out. Don't you even do what I think you're going to do. Stop it! If that goes up into my bloodstream, I'll die.
It's the safety one.
No, it's not safe. Why did you I don't want the ocean one. Go get, that's not the safety one, you ding dong. You could have blew my butthole.
I barely blew you. Oh no.
This is one of your kids' fault. I'm telling you. Which we already determined that it is.
It is, no matter what.
We made it worse. 1.58 mega ohms.
That's worse?
Yeah, it's more conductive than it was. Which, see, I do have it unplugged up front. Alright, I'm going to fiddle around unless it's touching something. It goes in. Oh, I really don't want to de-pin them. These things are super tiny. Alright, well, I'm going to keep spraying, brushing, blowing until we get it. Everybody cross your fingers. Send good vibes. Either that or our pins fell out for the 15th time.
No, they look like they're still in.
Oh, yeah. I told you I could fix it. You're like, I don't even know if you can fix it. I'm like, what?
Failure's not an option.
Look at that. Hallelujah. Freaking kids.
See?
I tell you what, Vanessa.
Yep.
CRC, QD contact cleaner. It does clean up what appears to be solder. But who knows with children what it is. But all I do know is that if I interrogate any of the children,
nobody knows.
Nobody done it. I'll tell you that right there. Because the same person that lived in my house growing up, the little guy named Not Me, lives in my house today. Which is just ironic, isn't it? Did Not Me live at your home?
Not me.
You and your sister, between you and your sister. And then you have like you, your sister, Not Me. And the way I did at my house.
Oh, it was always her.
Oh, well, that's more than obvious. Let's see if the light goes out. We'll remove our probes because the light will still be on. Stick that baby in there. Wires back up. I'll be so happy if this is it. And then we got to try to fish this connector back in. So the SRS module lives up under here, which you can pull all this trim off, or you can just pull the little side panel and give it the classic reach around here. It is the connector on the far end. That is clicked back in, which was nice. I'm glad it wasn't the middle one. There's a little plastic shield that goes over it. You got to kind of line back up. It keeps soda and stuff from dumping on it. Up here under the dash, they got to cover the piece of plastic, which is a great idea, considering nothing can get to it. If we have any reason we can't just plug it in and start it up, let me just turn this off. My battery will go dead. What do you think? You happy, woman?
I don't know.
Yay.
Let's see if it's off.
Of course it's off. See, go look. It's not even on right now. I gotta hook up your battery. Safety third. Well, man, better tighten it up. Let's go with toolbox tour. There we go. You've got power.
Ready?
What are you doing? Eating old gum you found under the seat? I do that from time to time. Where's your airbag light?
Right there.
And it's still on. Son of a hoo-ha!
Ah!
What?
Yeah, I knew you could do it. Oh, great.
Yeah,
Thanks
extreme
for
close
that.
up in the eye. Yeah, you're welcome. Leave it running. Hold on. Because all of your people are going to say, well, you had the battery unhooked, bro. Coming in.
Did you have a saver on it?
No. Now when you're dealing with an airbag woman, you want me to die?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know about the airbag. I don't want you to die. I know that.
You know that for like a fact? Why'd you lie? That's totally fake. You know you got life insurance on me.
Not enough.
How much is your head worth?
Nothing.
You got no insurance.
No. You're going to survive without me.
Not in my heart, I won't.
I worry about the children.
You should. Oh, what we got? System selection, SRS. Turn this switch off. Okay, turn it on. Okay, communicating.
What's this thing do?
Well, it's a diagnostic code read checker. Why does it tell me I have a current code and your light's not on? Shouldn't it be historical? Shut it off. Turn the key on. Let's clear the fault. Yes, we want to clear the fault. Turn it off. Turn it on. Fault memory cleared. Okay, shut it off. Start it up. Alright, it always did its second key cycle, so I didn't tell you that little trick. Go ahead and shut it off. Start it up. Alright, then hold your foot on the brake and put it in reverse. That's when it would always come on. Okay, put it in park. So that's when it checked the circuit. Apparently. Read fault codes. No trouble codes.
Dun da da! I knew you could do it.
I didn't know that I could.
I knew you could. Now how about my door?
One thing at a time. Come on. Just because a guy tells you he's going to do something, you don't need to remind him every 5 or 6 months. Alright? Let's go ahead and shut her down. We're done. It's your freaking kids. Vanessa.
You gonna get rid of them?
No. No, I don't want to get rid of them. But anyhow, just so you guys know, this, on your quarter trim, it was either this slot or this slot, which that's where the little hump is in the floor there. There's the little humpy, so it's ahead of the humper. So it's this hole right here. We take a key out, that's annoying. This little hole right here, which is, you know, the seat is in this vicinity. So if they got their solder in here, oops, you got to clean this off, Vanessa. I see some residual residue right there. I'm thinking something, yep, yeah, there's a little bit of residual right there too. I think if it gets spilt, it follows this track down for the spare tire holder, goes right in there and drips right in on top of our connector. Let's look behind it, see if we have any evidence. Nope, no evidence from the backside. Which one of your kids sits in that seat, Vanessa?
None of them normally do.
Oh. Anyhow, is what it is. The stain on the floor led us to the cause. But in all actuality, a good diagnostic thought process led us to the problem. Seeing the code that was in it, seeing the code setting criteria, opening both ends of the circuit, seeing that it still had continuity, knowing that the wires are shorted to themselves and potentially another circuit. I wasn't thinking another circuit simply because we didn't have any other problems. There was nothing else in the van that didn't work, no other codes. So the easiest thing to do at that point, and anytime you have this, not just on an SRS system, but any wiring system, if you can cut it in half, and I don't mean physically cut it, in some cases I do, but if there's a connector somewhere that you can unplug and say, well, it's not in this 3 feet, where's the next connector? Is it in this, 3 feet, 5 feet, whatever. So hopefully that made sense how we did it. Luck of the draw, our problem was at the connector, which I'm fortunate because I did not want to pull all the carpet and everything out of this van to keep tracing it. But if it came down to it, I do what I have to do for my lovely wife, because that's what I do as a loving husband.
So that means you're going to fix my door now?
Soon, woman, soon.
Oh.
You know the saying, a girl can dream? I don't want to steal all them from you. Anyhow, folks, that's it until next time I fix the door, perhaps months from now. It's just that lock actuator. She can use the key, all right, before you get on me in the comment box. And I did order the part.
It's here. Let's put it in.
We may. In the meantime, go down, leave your questions, comments, criticisms in the comment box below. Take the soda from your children. I didn't even think our children drank soda.
Not very often.
Take the sticky substance from your children when they're in your vehicle. Because if you're at the shop, this would have cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Think about that.
I'm so glad you're mine.
I know. While you're down there, click subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching. So, Miss Trinity, let me ask you something. You see this stain right here on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that is?
Soda.
Huh?
Soda.
How did it get there?
I don't know. I didn't do it. Probably the boys.
Are you sure? How did you know what that stain was?
Because Mama told me.
But you don't know who did it? You just proved my theory, girl. Thanks.